Hello, the game has started. It's my opponent to go first. I've got a tricky rack. I've got the U-V combination. There could be an 8-letter word here with the right floater. I don't think there's a 7. However, if I don't have a bingo, a play of gov or vug would sort the rack out. And if my opponent changes, I would play gov. Vug has an H hook at the end as well as an S and a G. Wow, great start for my opponent and quite a few floaters to consider. Just working my way along. I'm not particularly optimistic of anything helping. The E looks best. No, I can't see anything. So what I can do is play Vug here for 16. Fantastic. That is a bingo-y rack. An absolute ton of bingos. I've got dis rates in column 8 onto the S. And, well, I am definitely going to be bingoing with this rack. Column 5 is a double-double lane. So what does this rack make with an L? That's still available. So lardiest. Does lardiest have an anagram? Red tails. And I think there's something else. But it's not coming to me. Either of those doesn't work. So column 8, do I have a play either at the top or the bottom which gets the D doubled? So asterids, diasters, disrates, and a few others, I think. Well, it's only going to make a small difference to the score, so I think I'll get this down. Diasters for, well, I'm going to go with disrates to avoid placing the vowel next to the double letter square for something like Tsar and Tsar. So disrates for 80. Back in the game. I draw the Z, which is always the way, having purposefully altered a move to avoid getting punished by my opponent having it. Anyway, this is pretty good. Pretty good. I may not have a bingo here, but it's a good-looking rack, and I should be able to score with the Z and leave a decent rack leave. A couple of double-double lanes to consider. Can't see anything with the A. Well, I've got amazing, but that doesn't get doubled twice. Nor does Amazon. Now what about the L? That looks less promising. And I can't see anything there. Do I have anything down from the K? No. So I suspect there is a good Z play here. I can see zit for 32. But that's splitting up ing. Now, wow, fantastic. Zo, tis, and exo are all good. Fantastic. Look at this. 73 points. And I could go further with zoning. But this is quite a good 5-letter set. And zoning takes an S. And I think I'll stick with just the 73. Pretty good. I think moting is good, but I'm not sure. Let's look at the scores. I'm 30 points in front despite my opponent's opening bingo. No, I'm not. I'm 60 points behind. Great bingo by my opponent. 106 points. Absolutely massive. So, Can I come back with a bingo of my own? Quite a few floaters to consider, and I'm drawn to the ing ending. So what about the R? I don't think amorting is good. What about the D? Not seeing anything there. How about the I? And the S? Well, looks quite good. I don't think moting is good, and I don't think motings is good. I've got the ism ending. 16 minutes on my clock, so plenty of time. Tis only takes a Z after it. Exo takes an N. Just not seeing anything. Now, are there any floaters which I haven't considered because they're slightly obscured? Possibly the E of tipless. Gosh, I hope I'm not in the process of missing a bingo here. I'm exactly a bingo behind. I'm just wondering what a bingo would look like if it didn't end ing. I've got the anti-prefix, anti-smog. Wow, I do have a bingo. Fantastic. I was on the brink of giving up. I have anti-smog. Wow. Probably the first time I've ever spotted this one. Anti-smog for 65. Bang. And that's not bad. It's not a bingo, but it's got some good scoring tiles in the H and the Y. And look at the O of anti-smog and the A of coal yard and the O of coal yard. Plenty of opportunities to score off these high-scoring tiles. Now, do I have a 5-letter play beginning H or Y above the O of anti-smog, which would get doubled? Wow, I was so close to not bingoing. I think it was my last consideration, the anti-prefix. And anti plus mog or gom does not look particularly inspiring. Anyway, I'm still 5 points behind with my opponent on turn. And I haven't seen a good way of using any of these high-scoring spots yet. HY could play next to CO. Okay, just 24 for my opponent. He's slowing down. That's good. It's a shame about this 5-letter play up here. That would be a 50 or 60 point play, but I'm not seeing it. It would have to begin YA or HA. Can't see anything there. I've got HYE, but it would leave me with quite a vowel heavy rack. Do I have anything down from the K? I don't think so. I've still got an N for going after XO. I could play Hoa. That's keeping the Y, which I'd rather play. And the trouble with playing a 3-letter play above anti-smog is that it opens up the triple word square at the top right. I wouldn't mind so much with a 5-letter play because the score would be so high. And Hoa keeps the Y, doesn't score very much. I could play YAH. Again, that's burning the H rather than the Y. Now, what about a 6-letter play beginning under ZO, which could begin A or O? No, not seeing anything. Nothing goes before or after Ute in terms of my high-scoring tiles. Let me see what Hay scores. 33 points, which is quite good, but that Y underneath this double letter square, I don't like that at all. 12 minutes on my clock. I can't spend too long on this play. Zoe takes an A in front. Can't see anything beginning with the C or beginning at or with something in front of that. I don't have an E for going after the R, so that limits the use of this triple letter square. So do I have anything through this B? Not that I can see. Wow, what a tricky rack. I thought this rack would have a lot of possibilities, and it doesn't. I really haven't seen anything great. So what about playing handy? Keeping AIO, terrible. I've got Diana, DHYANA, which would sort the rack out, but for a pretty rubbishy score. Hoagie doesn't fit. Well, I'm thinking of playing Yay. It gets rid of the Y, retains the H, splits up the duplicate A, and if I draw constants, this isn't a bad rack leave, and 29 points isn't a bad score. Well, not great. Vowel heavy, plus I've got the U. Opponent plays quickly, only 22 points, that's good. So I trail by 20. Now I thought I had Keyork, which I do, but it doesn't reach the triple word square. Now I do have a play in row B. I have Hongi. Do I have anything which burns the U? So I have Hongi. No, I don't, because OG is not good. Okay, so do I have a play beginning HA or HU? I don't think Hangi is good. But it is. Great. So I do have a play in that spot. Keeping OU. A little bit of synergy going on there. Now, before I play that, am I sure I don't have a bingo through any of the floaters in Coal Yard, in particular the R and the D? I've still got the ING ending, although I haven't been going out of my way to hang on to that. I may just have drawn it. No, can't see anything there, so Hangi for 50 points. Fantastic. Another Grim pickup and another UV combo. Not that I let that combination get to me. And F and V particularly lack synergy. However, I'm hanging on to a slender lead of about 30 points. Still both blanks to come. And that's an argument for turning over tiles when there's only 36 tiles in the bag. Onto an A, I would have Fovea. Interesting. 16 points. Nerd takes a Y. They've both gone. And an S. Only one to come. My opponent could have that. And there's nothing I can do with this play by my opponent to do anything about those hooks. Unless I play oof, but that's not taking them out and it's not sorting the rack out. So, another tricky rack to deal with. I've got UFO on my rack and foo. I'm not too bothered about getting rid of the V. I could play Gov. But I really want to turn over a lot of tiles if I can to get to increase my chances of getting a blank. Now let me see what foe scores. 25 points. I'm taking out floaters, which has some merit given that I'm ahead, albeit by only 20 points. I'm splitting up FV. Rack leave not great. Let me look at the remaining vowel situation. 18 out of 39, so about half vowels. I could have vowel problems next go. Only 7 minutes on my clock. My opponent's playing fast. He's only used up 4 minutes of time. Okay, so I can't hang around. I don't think there's anything in the top of the board for me, except there is. I can play UFO here for 23, and I think that's a better rack leave. I'm splitting up UV. I'm interfering with an S hook for hangy, but at the expense of opening up a 9 timer, but I'm just going to have to live with that. I'm going with this. I don't draw a blank or an S, so my opponent could be coming down with a bingo right about now. I've got verb at the top left, which plays off the V and one of the E's. Not too bad a rack leave, although still vulnerable to a pickup of vowels. I don't have anything down from the K. I can't see any great scoring spots for the V. GUV is good. But if doesn't take anything I've got. I don't have anything down from the O. Yep, there comes down a bingo. And my opponent could well have the second blank. Still a blank and an S out there. I think he would have had a choice of bingos with that rack. Now he moves into a 30-point lead. Do I have anything better than verb? And I've only got 6 minutes on my clock with 22 tiles in the bag. I'm sure I haven't got a bingo here. Verb doesn't feel optimal. Although 27 points, not bad. I guess it would be nice to play off another E. A play of Eve somewhere would do that. Just wondering if I've got anything in column 8 down through the T. Don't think I do. I don't have a play across from the U. Something like Uveal would have been nice. So, is there really nothing better than verb? Just checking that I don't have a bingo through the D. I've got the over prefix. Can't see anything. 5 minutes on my clock. I'm pausing because mistakes can be critical, especially when you're this close. And if there's a play which scores about the same as verb but plays off one more vowel, it's going to be a better play. So I could play lever. I'm going with verb. I've spent enough time on this. I don't like it, but I'm going with it. Verb for 27. I draw the final blank, which is fantastic. It gives me hope. I'm only 6 points behind. My opponent's on turn. 19 tiles in the bag. 45 points for my opponent. Great score. Do I have a bingo? Yes, I do. I have enhaloed. I'm inclined to play this quickly because it doesn't open up row O, and I'm short on time. So enhaloed for, wow, that O next to a double letter square. I'm inviting a 40-point response. But what can go next to the O? F, W, and B, almost all of the high-scoring tiles. Let me pause for a moment and reconsider. Do I have an alternative bingo? I've got enhaloed in my pocket. Not too many floaters to consider. How likely is there to be a bingo through this E? Unlikely given my rack. Anything else through the N? Not that I can see. What about a play parallel to Danton underneath it? Any 7s with this rack? I'm just running through the alphabet in my mind rather than manually. Not that I can see. Okay. Arsehole through the R and ear holes. They don't work. I'm going back to enhaloed. So enhaloed for 74. Wow, I draw the B and the W, which means it's only the F which can cause me harm in column 15. I've got a 20-point lead. That will vanish if my opponent plays in column 15. But do I have a play there beginning with the W or the B? I don't think I do. I don't think I do. Not getting tripled anyway, which is a shame. I don't have anything down from the K. So a tricky rack to deal with. There have been very few straightforward racks in this game. I've got web, how, and age. I've got a W and B can go next to the A of Colyard. Just 7 tiles to come, and they're pretty bingo-y. So I haven't seen any moves that I like so far. Ah, well, I've got Weiss in column 13, getting the W and the C both doubled twice. It is keeping 2 eyes. Let me look at the remaining vowel situation. 7 vowels out of 14, exactly half of vowels. And Weiss would leave me with B-I-I-O. Well, that's vulnerable to vowels, but it does have the saving grace of retaining a scoring tile. I think this game hinges on whether my opponent can bingo. But not many bingo lanes, just really the floating D. So I think it's a case of, well, he doesn't have a bingo, just 26 points. Do I leave this F spot alone? And my opponent only plays off consonants, which suggests that he was consonant heavy, which suggests the bag could well be vowel heavy. So 3 minutes on my clock. Let me see what Weiss scores. 37 points. That's a big score, given that we are absolutely neck and neck. I'm going with this. I draw the F, which is fantastic. So I have Phoebe in column 15. The rack leave is dreadful, 2 eyes and an O. I don't care about that, because if my opponent doesn't bingo, Phoebe is likely to win the game. But look at the remaining tiles. Super bingo-y. And my lead of only 30 points. I don't think I'm going to be able to come back from that if my opponent bingos, because if he does bingo in row N, he'll be taking out that super hot column 15 spot. However, he will also be opening up row O for parallel plays. So I think it's going to be really close. If my opponent does bingo, he will almost certainly be able to go out the following move, because he'll be drawing 2 of these tiles. And I think any 2 of these will go out in multiple spots. So yeah, if my opponent bingos, I think he wins the game. And I think he... Wow. Okay, so my opponent takes that spot. It's good that he hasn't bingoed, so just 3 points between us. And 3 minutes on my clock, 12 on my opponent's. What can I do here? I can see I've got foe. 26 points. Is that going to be enough? My opponent's only got 1-point tiles. And I don't think he can go out with those. And if he can, he's got Lewis on his rack. If he can, I can't see anywhere which scores highly. So I need to jettison my B and my F to avoid a count back. 2 minutes on my clock. The trouble with foe is that it's retaining the B. 12 points on countback. So even a low score for Louis would win. I don't have time to look for outs for my opponent. Now, if and only if is good. I'm really looking around for spots where I can play the B and the F. Can't see anything underneath anti-smog. 2 minutes on my clock. Fib is the obvious play on my rack, but I can't see anywhere for that on the board. Birth through a U. 1 minute on my clock. Foe does not feel great. Foe for 26. It's going to take me to the 500 point mark, but is it going to be enough? Rack leave's dreadful. I can't even go out next go with this rack leave. One minute on my clock. What about a player B? 21. Not great. Less than 1 minute on my clock. I'm going with foe for 26. 52 seconds left. I've got BE for not very much. I've got BE underneath the O of Dantund. BE above Ag. So my opponent's likely to have two plays here, and he's got the S. Wow, he does go out. Wow, and it's enough to win him the game. Absolutely incredible game. Final score, 500 to me, 514 to my opponent. So very well done to my opponent. Let's see what I missed. Wow, I wonder if that game was winnable at the end there. I think it may well have been. So, it was my opponent to go first. He's got Stipels and Tipless. He plays Tipless. I play Vug. I think that's fine. Opponent has Alcockside. Doesn't see it. Plays Ked. Now, I play Disrates for 80. Nothing scoring more. Opponent plays Tix. That's great for me because it gives me Zoe for 73. And opponent's rack, and he's got Coalyard for 106. Fantastic play. I have anti-smog, and that's the only bingo, so delighted to have spotted that. Horrible rack for my opponent. He plays Braw, and this was a rack I agonised over. G6. Ah, yeah. For 41, pretty good. What did I do? I played YAEH, so not quite as good. Horrible rack for my opponent, although he's got the blank. He plays Chi. And now I play Hangy for 50. I could have got 45 for enough at H10. Ah, yeah, quite nice. Probably not much between those. Opponent plays Nerd. So at that point, yeah, he had the blank. This was a tricky rack. What did I do? I played UFO for 23, so a similar score to some of these. Okay, I'm not sure if any of these are obviously better. Great rack for my opponent. He has Dantond. And now this was a rack I struggled with. K11. K11. Ah, Nerdle. Right, and Levy. Quite nice for 31 points. And I played Verb for 27. A similar score, but a worse rack leave. However, Levy would have placed an E in column 15. Not great. Opponent plays Lupine. And I have Enhaloed, but also Anethol G14. Okay, not good since there's still an S out there, so I like my play. Opponent plays Raj. And now there's just 3 points between us. There are 5 tiles in the bag. And I play Weiss for 37. Opponent has this rack and plays meat, which is a nice score. And now the critical point, I'm 3 points behind. My opponent has Louis and coal yards. What can I do about that with this rack? And I don't think this is going to help. M6. Ah, but it does. Rats. Well, beef would have scored 32, which would have put me 29 points in front. 21 points for Louis and Abs. Yeah, I think beef would have been enough. Okay, I think that would have been the play for 32 points, playing off the B and the F and blocking Louis and coal yards. Instead, I played Faux. I played that too quickly because I had 52 seconds of thinking time left. Yeah, beef would have been the play. And then finally, opponent has Louis. He has no other out, so that suggests that if I'd played beef, then Louis and Abs wouldn't quite have been sufficient. Anyway, absolutely amazing game. Well done once again to my opponent for such a fantastic contest. Really, really exciting, neck and neck, both of us over 500 points and a missed winning play at the end. So well done if you spotted that. I hope you enjoyed watching that game and I will see you next time.